I always thought that a horror version of Superbad would be brilliant, and A24's upcoming Y2K is here to prove me right. For decades, movies about one long wild night have been among my favorite subgenres. One of Martin Scorsese's most underrated movies, After Hours, perfectly encapsulated this subgenre back in 1985, but directors have added to the pantheon before and since. On the darker side of the subgenre, there are movies like Go, Miracle Mile, and After Hours, while the lighter side includes classics like Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle and Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. However, arguably the greatest One Wild Night movie since After Hours is 2007's teen comedy Superbad. This seminal coming-of-age comedy from director Greg Mottola saw Jonah Hill and Michael Cera's hapless teenage virgins attempt to obtain alcohol for a party, only to stumble into countless mishaps along the way. I loved Superbad as a teen, although I always wished the movie had taken its dark side a little further. Wild as it might sound, I thought a horror spin on Superbad made a lot of sense, and a new upcoming A24 movie proves that this premise could work well. Y2K is a horror spin on 2007's classic teen comedy Superbad. Y2K borrows a lot of Superbad's story and adds horror elements. A24's upcoming Y2K borrows a lot from Superbad. There is a dreamy love interest the main character is pursuing, a party that ends in disaster, and a quiet, unassuming protagonist paired with a more outgoing best friend. Admittedly, a lot of these elements are also found in Project X, Booksmart, Can't Hardly Wait, Dazed and Confused, and American Graffiti, among others. However, Superbad seems to be Y2K's main inspiration, judging by the sweary camaraderie of the two young heroes and their attempts to psyche themselves up for partying by consuming copious alcohol. There's just one big difference. Y2K's trailer takes a turn when the movie reveals it is really a horror comedy. Y2K's title refers to the infamous Millennium Bug, a theory that posited the world's electronics would all malfunction en masse when the clock struck 12 on New Year's Eve 1999. While this didn't happen in reality, it occurs in Y2K, and the house party's haywire technology soon starts violently attacking the partygoers. From then on, Y2K's trailer becomes a horror remix of Superbad that proves this idea has plenty of comedic potential. Nights Out Gone Wrong always have an element of menace, making this an ingenious premise. Y2K's Superbad similarities could help it become a big hit. A horror spin on Superbad could be very successful. Rachel Zegler's character uses a phone in a bedroom in Y2K trailer. Superbad was massively popular, and horror movies typically do well at the box office. A24's horror movies are more critically successful than most of the genre's efforts, even as horror movies undergo their current critical revival. Thus, Y2K combining Superbad's premise with a horror story could leave the filmmakers with a surprise hit on their hands. Admittedly, it would be tough for Y2K to outdo Superbad's astounding $170 million box office success, but the upcoming A24 horror movie could be a sleeper hit. Either way, A24's Y2K will be the horror take on Superbad I always wanted.